good morning, Las Vegas. It is Monique Buchanan, the host of The Monique Buchanan Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly feel blessed this Saturday that you decided to listen to yet another Monique Buchanan Show, all about real estate and more. I've got my co-host here, Miss Rebecca Coynes. Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Mo.
How are you?
I am wonderful.
And
blessed as always.
I know that's right, girl. We were supposed to be doing testimony, so remember we said we're going to do that. So let me see. I got a lot of testimonies. Let's see. Do you want to start with a testimony? Something good that's happened to you over the last weekend or week?
Well, I don't think I've mentioned that on the show, but my daughter-in-law's little sister has been going through a little cancer battle. Yeah. So her name is Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. We love you, Mackenzie, and we're praying for you. Yes, she has.
She is now out of the stage and in her maintenance phase. So she's been cancer-free for the most part. So now she's doing her maintenance stuff. She's had little stumbles, but she's been doing really, really well. So I'm very, very, very happy about all of that.
Look at God.
Yes,
see, and this is an update you're giving me over the air because normally you give me updates.
I know.
And I am so grateful. I'm going to share that with my little girls. You know, they be praying for Mackenzie.
Yes,
because Mackenzie's around their age. What is she, 13?
12. Yeah, 12. She's just about to turn 13.
Yeah, so Malia is about to turn 13 too.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful that God is hearing everybody's prayers for little Miss Mackenzie.
Thank you all.
Yeah, now she's going to Disneyland as well overseas, isn't she?
No. She's going to Hawaii.
Oh, they're sending her to Hawaii.
Yeah, Disney Resort in Hawaii.
And there was a nonprofit that was doing that for her, right? Well, shout them out, girl.
Yes.
Give them a shout out.
I believe that's the Cure for Kids, if I recall correctly, but I'm not positive.
God bless them that is them or whoever it is.
There's been several charities, and the Golden Knights have done something for her. They just went there. But yes, they've taken very, very good care of them, and I'm very blessed.
God bless them. Thank you for, giving back.
Yes.
That's awesome. And thank you for the great news. Yes. All right. So my testimony is, my father was born at home in Texas. A small town called Chilton, Texas, just south of Waco, Texas. Anyways, it's extremely small. He's born in 1949. Yes. So we have tried to get him his passport throughout the years multiple times.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that.
Yeah. So by the grace of God, girl, my daddy got his passport.
Oh, hallelujah.
Let me tell you what I had to send in, honey. I was over there doing Ancestry.com stuff. Okay, I had to prove. I pulled my great-great-grandfather, who was born right when slavery ended.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I pulled his World War I draft card. Okay? I had
pulled the into the files.
Girl, I had to go deep. I pulled the 1950 Census Bureau. That showed my granddaddy put my dad on the Census Bureau as 1 year old. Crazy. Because he was born at home.
Yeah.
So they had
the same thing.
For 65 years, we had been celebrating my daddy's birthday as April 19th. The first time we tried to get his passport, we found out that his birthday was April 21st. Now, mind you, my little sister in Seattle had a baby, held off until April 19th to have that baby on his birthday. And she's still mad at my dad that he celebrates the 21st now. Anyways, but that's my testimony. By the grace of God, I jumped through so many hoops to get it, but it was nothing but a prayer. I said, Lord, please,
finally
please get this for my father, because he wants to go to my daughter in Europe.
Yeah.
And she wants him over there. He wants to visit. He's never been out of the country. So now we are booking him a ticket to London. They're going to spend a couple days there, and then they're going to go off to Albania.
Oh, I love it. Congratulations.
Isn't that awesome?
Finally.
So that is my testimony. So thank you, Jesus. And I know my daddy's happy to get away from me for a while. Okay, guys. Well, anyways, thank you for tuning in. And if you didn't probably know by now, this is a real estate show. And no, but seriously, we've got some good topics to talk about. Mainly, we want to kind of update you on just where the market is now here in Las Vegas. If you haven't already heard, the rates have dipped again. The window has not closed yet. Yes, the rates are sitting at around 6%, according to Anthony. Mm-hmm. This time last year, we were well over 7%.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the rates have come down, but we still have a shortage of properties here in Las Vegas. We have about $6,000 to $7,000. Thank you. Single family homes for sale in Las Vegas. It might sound like a lot, but when you compare to, how many people, over 2 million people live in here.
Yeah, that's not a lot to go around.
Not to mention investors pouring in from all over the country now because of all the things that are happening. Just the demand for the houses. So every year, we always start picking up around now. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Every spring.
It's that time.
Even the hesitant buyer comes out.
Yep.
right?
The
Around
weather
spring.
gets nicer. They want to get things taken care of before summertime,
Yeah.
spend the summer before school starts.
Right. So you might feel like that's a lot of homes, but it really is not. So it's kind of like having 10 tickets to, I don't know who's popular, the George Strait concert,
The Backstreet Boys at the Sphere.
Backstreet, Usher's concert, or whoever you're into. 10 tickets, right? But you got 100 people who want to go. So even if you were to add 2 more tickets, it's still going to go real fast. That's kind of like our housing market. You know what I mean? So, and it of course depends on what area you're looking at.
Yes.
Are you looking at a house that has a pool? We live in the desert. Everybody wants a pool. So homes are still sitting on average 50 days or more. The regular home is, right?
Yeah.
If there's nothing extraordinary about it, if it's not flipped, and when I say flipped, I mean within the last 5 years, that's what we mean when we ask, are there any updates to the house? If you are thinking, oh yeah, when I bought it 20 years ago, I got those extra countertops and I got the extra, but no, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The trends have changed probably 7 times since then. So what they do is they're looking at the past 5-year trend. So, when we say updates, we mean, have you did any flooring in the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Have you updated the kitchen in the last 5 years? Paint, baseboards. Now, now people are putting the 7-inch baseboards in, like the really big baseboards. So that's a trend.
And when you see those trendy ones, that's the most desirable house in the neighborhood right now.
Everybody wants that. They want to be able to walk in, sit their stuff down, and start cooking dinner. And so obviously, that home is going to sell quicker than the home that doesn't quite have all the updates.
Yeah.
Maybe it still has a little baby Spanish tile countertops.
Yeah.
But you updated maybe some other things in the kitchen, the cabinets, So you partially did it. So that's still appealing. It might sell a little bit faster than the one that's not updated at all.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a pool, that bad boy, I don't care if it isn't updated, it's more than likely going to go a lot faster than the average house.
Most pool houses do.
Yes, because people understand that they can go in there and update it themselves. But to build a pool in the back is extremely expensive, and it's time consuming.
Yeah.
Right. So why not just buy a house with a pool and fix up the inside?
Yeah.
So you can speak on that a little bit.
Yeah.
One of our clients, he started off, I want a pool, only a pool. Give me a pool.
Yes. And a big pool.
And a big pool, not even just a
Henderson.
regular. So we said area. You guys, Summerlin, Henderson, these are
Yes.
very sought after areas
Yeah.
in the valley. So obviously homes that are being sold there, they may have a better chance of flying off the market a little faster.
And a lot of them did.
Yeah, then, maybe like, I don't know, Pahrump, because it's a little farther. Which
He was
Pahrump.
open to the whole city. I mean, that was where he preferred. He was open. He was looking everywhere.
All three. I love it. And by the way, Vegas, we consider a 1960, like that's like an older house here in Vegas, which that's not even that old.
No.
Not
I think
especially
Jake's
not
house
when you're.
that he bought in Washington was like 1920 something.
Yes, and I love those homes.
So do I.
I love them.
The character of them are amazing.
When you're talking Chicago or any other city, we're talking over 100
Yeah.
years old, and you're proud to have it.
But we're youngins here.
We are youngins. We are. So, anyways, it does matter what area you're looking in.
Yeah.
So, did he end up getting something with a pool?
No.
What's going on?
Well, we looked at a couple, and there were different things that happened. He now wanted to kind of like shift his little focus a little bit because he was getting beat out on those houses with pools.
There we go.
So a lot of the deals, like we were very, very competitive, but we were like right there, and then something would happen.
Yeah.
So he decided, let's just get a big lot that I can put a pool in.
There we go. And so he's still looking in the Henderson area?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, how has that been going with that recently? Because the buyers are out, you guys. I'm telling you, people are not waiting on the sidelines anymore.
No.
They're like, okay, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm going to get a house before I can't get a house.
Yeah. I started laughing.
And I see it.
I teased him.
And you see it.
Oh, yeah. I teased him. I said, I think we're being stalked. And he started laughing because he like, oh, this house has been on the market for a minute. Let's go take a look at it. Mm-hmm. We were out. I kid you not. We got home. And as he's contemplating over the 3-4 houses we went and looked at, if he wants to put an offer in, under contract.
Yeah, and that's just how it happens. The house might be on the market for 90 days, and you're thinking, oh, nobody really wants this house. I have time. Not anymore, honey. Spring is around the corner. These buyers are out.
He didn't even get home, and 2 of them were under contract.
And that's how it goes. And this is what I'm warning people about. See, it's already starting, right? We've been saying the window is closing. So anyways, this is the Monique Buchanan Show. and we are talking all things real estate, not only here in Las Vegas, but hey, we are in 24 countries and nationwide. 702-984-3700. Selling, buying a home, investment properties, we cover all that. 702-984-3700. WelcomeHomeWithMonique.com is the website that you can click, look at homes. You can also get a valuation of your property that you own now. If you're thinking about selling, you can get tidbits on how to get your home ready for selling. So anyways, 702-984-3700 if you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing. So we're just talking about how the tide is turning. I tell my clients right now, by summer, if you need closing costs, it's going to be too late.
We're already starting to see it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be too late. That window's really shutting.
We're getting less and less.
Before, it was easy for me to get 10,000 or more for my clients.
Yeah.
And it
It's not
depends on the house. If you're thinking of getting closing costs from a house with a pool, good luck. Because unless that house is completely dilapidated, they know, at least if they have a decent realtor, they know, hey, if we just hold off, summer's around the corner. Somebody's going to come and give us what we want for that house. Because a pool is sought after here in Vegas.
Very much so.
At least in my real estate opinion. My humble real estate opinion. You know what I mean? So just keep in mind, it's not every single house, but a lot of houses that are sought after are going to go quick. And speaking of that, I have an upcoming listing. Spanish Trails is where we're talking about. And it is a listing. It's a townhome. And it is a 2-bedroom, 1,758 square feet. So it even has a study that you could turn into a bedroom. So technically, it could be a 3-bedroom. And let me tell you something. Has like the sub-zero, refrigerator, all the upgraded, countertop appliances and things like that.
They don't have townhouses come up often in Spanish Trails.
No, they do not, especially under 500,000.
Central
the
to everything.
Yeah, look at the location. You've got golf course community. You're on a golf course community. You're guard gated. Throw from Durango Casino. You're a throw from the airport. You're a throw from the Strip. I'm going to have that one listed probably next week sometime. He actually had been renting it out to, what do they call it?
Furnish finders?
Furnish finders,
yeah.
thank you. And he was doing very well with that. My clients actually are going to be purchasing a home in France. So I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them with that purchase, hopefully. And we'll get that going after we sell this one. So they're great people and we're going to get it sold. But yeah, that one's coming soon. Like I said, it's 1,758 square feet, 2-car garage, golf course, community guard gated, under 500,000. Those are the tidbits for now on that property. But yeah, so a lot of people are starting to list their properties right now because now the rates are at a pretty much price point at 6%. Even 1 point will save you about $300 on your payment. So let's say you're buying a home, Becky, at $400,000. Your payment's 3.5%. That's $14,000. Your loan amount will be about $386,000, and at 6%, your payment will be about $2,300 a month. That's principal and interest, right? But let's say that, and then the rates go up to 7%, right? Now you're looking at about a $2,571 payment per month. So that's $254 more. Just off 1%. And that's what we're talking about when we talk rates. That's about $3,000 extra a year. That 1% increase will cost you.
Yeah.
We can do the buy down. As long as we're able to get closing costs from the seller, which that window is also closing fast. Because if I'm a seller and I've got multiple people trying to buy my house, why would I give you any money?
Right.
I'll just wait for the person behind you that's going to give me everything I asked for.
Yeah.
Becky, would you do this? Would you? I'm selling a house up in Seattle right now with my niece, and had a conversation with my brother-in-law. God bless him, love him to death. But he bought a couple homes back in, I don't know, I think he said like 2012. Oh, wow. He bought some, well, for investment purposes, right? And so he tells me, oh yeah, Monique, I think she should offer, about $50,000 less.
We've had a few of those.
And I get it. He's thinking like an investor because investors, when you're an investor, they call it the 70% rule. You've got to make money on the property.
Of course.
So that's, of course, the mindset he's in. But you have to understand, she's not an investor. This is her first home.
Yeah.
You also have to understand, you'll have to go find a needle in the haystack, which there's not to say there's not needles out there. Okay. But I'm saying, how many people are willing to give you $50,000 off their house when they have all this. They have their realtor letting them know how much their house is worth. Heck, even all these third-party websites are telling them.
They can go look it up themselves.
They know what their houses are worth out there, okay? Nowadays, they know. So you can't get over on them like that.
No.
So $50,000 I'm going to give you off the price of my house, and you want $15,000 in closing costs?
Here, just let me hand you $65,000. Like, who's going to do that?
And that's the thing, you know, I'm like, I know you mean well.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that do that. They advise people like that. And it's like, no. If you found that as an investor, that's great for you. But even investors know, hey, it's not easy finding the person that's willing to sell.
No. And it's usually distressed property. And even with distressed properties, there are risks involved the whole process.
Absolutely.
We've had our own.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So people are not out here to just give their homes away. And another thing I had to explain to them, I said, listen, people bought these homes at 2%,
Yeah.
3%. They're not pressed to sell their homes.
No.
They can say, hey, list it. If it sells, great. If it doesn't,
I'm good.
No problem.
Yeah.
I can afford this mortgage. And that's a pivotal difference.
Yes. Yes. They can rent it out. They have so many options. They're not trying to give away.
No, unless there's just some major emergency, and that, like I said, is a needle in the haystack. You find somebody that, God forbid, has no, you know, they have to sell. You know, maybe a judge is telling them that you have to sell and you have to sell quick. I don't know.
Yeah.
But more than likely, no.
No.
The majority of these listings they're not in a pressed situation.
Yes. And, you know, I do want to say, I've tried to educate some of the buyers that we've dealt with that have had the same issue.
But then they learn.
Yes, they learn.
Because they keep getting beat out.
Yes, but not only that, but I also try to explain to them, when you go that low, you're also kind of insulting the seller. Yeah. And then sellers get emotional with their properties.
Yeah,
when
a lot of them do.
You come in and be like, you're trying to tell me this is what my house is worth? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
And then if you really do want the property and now we're trying to negotiate, the negotiations go a little
left.
Yeah.
I'll help you out with that.
Yes.
So here's the thing that I always tell people. Listen, at the end of the day, if you're getting a loan, you're not overpaying for this property.
No.
Because, honey, the bank is not going to allow you to overpay for the property because they're invested in it. So what do? They require you to get a what, Becky?
An appraisal.
And what is that appraiser's job?
To go in there and value that house.
To make sure that you're not paying more than it's worth.
Absolutely.
That is his sole job. So instead of you know, offering, 50, 40, 30, 20, whatever, less. And of course, I'm talking about normal homes, $600,000 or less, okay?
Yeah.
We're in the millions. I think I was able to get $100,000 off.
Yeah, that's
one of my $1 million properties.
That's a
different ballpark.
animal.
I'm talking about the average medium home, okay? So instead of you going in there and doing that, how about this? How about I hit him over the head for $15,000, you know what I mean? $20,000, whatever it is that you need for closing costs, right? Then we wait on the appraiser to come in. And we say, oh, Mr. Seller, look at that. We were willing to give you what you thought your home was worth. But now Mr. Appraiser has come in and said, well, it's actually worth $10,000 less. Now that's where we start our negotiations and say, hey, we were willing to play ball with you. But unfortunately, that big bad appraiser, he said no deal.
Yeah,
you need
said
to
those
sell
dated
it.
countertops kind of
took some of that. Yeah, that baby tile you've had in there since you bought the house in 1989. Yeah, but that's it is. We're making fun and we're making light, but we all love our homes.
Absolutely.
And we all make it our own. And so we're not coming for the people, but you have to understand that all that does play a part.
Yeah.
So when he comes in there and says, you know what, Mr. Seller, it's worth this, we go back and say, hey, we want the property at this price. I think I may have had it happen twice in 10 years that the seller said no.
Yeah. And that's their right to do.
It's their right. They can say no. But 9 times out of 10, sellers don't want to start the process all the way over. They understand that that's the man's job. He's valuing their home.
And it's not changing the value of the property. Like, you can go on to the next buyer.
Yeah.
But that value isn't changing. Your property's still only going to be worth that if you go and get into contract the next week.
Well, with FHA, it's 6 with them. So it sticks with the property. So your new buyer can see that it valued at this price. So, a lot of times they'll just say, hey, listen, as long as it's nothing crazy,
Yeah.
then they'll say, hey, listen, just give it to the buyer at that property
Yeah.
or at that price and we'll move on. So this is part of the negotiations of having a experienced realtor. These are the things we do. So 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700, welcomehomewithmonique.com. And you can find me at Realtor Monique Buchanan on IG. So my niece did end up getting her offer accepted. So I got her $15,000 through my sister's. My sister is my agent in Seattle. I love you, girl. She does a great job. So I told her, go after the closing costs. Get her 15 grand. We got the 15 grand. Sellers only needed a little 5-day rent back. For all of you out there that don't know what that means, if you need time as a seller to secure the funds from selling your home, because a lot of people need the money to move. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
So they say, oh, hey, let me get paid from it first. And then I can use that money and I'll go ahead and move out. That's not a problem. We can negotiate that. It's called a rent back. That's what we call it. And so, yeah, I just, guided her through that and just made sure that she was protected. And so she's going to give them 5 days,
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so happy for her. And it's her first house.
That's so exciting.
And she just had her second baby on January 1st. So congratulations,
Ooh,
Sierra. Yeah, so anyways, so she's good to go. We'll be closing that deal in 3 weeks. And by the way, we're able to close 3 weeks later. In most cases, we can have keys in your hand. Mm-hmm. Now, you'll always skip 1 month's mortgage. Remember that. Sometimes 2 months mortgage. In other words, if I give you keys on April 1st, you will not have a payment till June. And if you want Anthony to make it July, he can do so. That way you have a smooth transition. You have time to get yourself together, move maybe out of your rental property, because then you'll have the, cushion to move. You won't have to worry about double paying mortgage and rent.
Yeah.
So those things are in place for you. So that's what we're here for. We have 0 down programs. Remember, you only need a 620 credit score. That's a nationwide program. They just have to be working for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
On their job. And then when I say if you've been renting for the past 3 years, then you're considered a first-time home buyer. That doesn't mean you've been renting, but you own something somewhere.
Yeah. Let's make sure everybody understands that.
Because this means you have no property and you want to buy a home.
Yes.
You cannot currently own any other property.
You sold your property and
you
rented.
sold it, or you just never had one.
Yes.
For the last 3 years, you've been renting. That's what we mean by that. So pretty simple, pretty, straightforward. If you've been renting and you want to buy a home, we've got down payment assistance programs throughout the entire nation. 620 credit score, 2 years on the job.
I also want to remind everybody that we do have, our service industry that we have here in Vegas. And just because you make tips, don't forget. Like I had my friends, they came on a while back last year, and when they bought their house, they were told they were never going to be able to buy. Heather and Tayton, same thing. And she had changed careers. And it was like, oh, she hadn't been on the job. She had been working the whole time. She just changed jobs, which is allowed.
You're allowed to. So when we say 2 years, you do not have to be on the same job.
Yes.
But there's so many people that have been told that come to us. And I'm so grateful that God has given me the people and the resources around us that can help people that have been told they will never own a home.
Yes.
A lot of tipped people out there that work for tips. A lot of you guys have been told that you will never be able to own a home because, whatever the reason, like a lot of your money is from tips, right?
Yeah.
So we have ways to help. But with them, they were told they would never own.
They were told they were never. And that was by a lender.
Yeah.
And
not all lenders are equal, because let me tell you, that's in banks too. Banks are really strict about who they approve. So a lot of times if you've been told by a bank that you're not approved and you've been with that bank 20, 30 years and you're like crushed, they're not all equal, So you just keep that in mind. If you're going to take the time to do a rental app, let them run your credit, do all the things, pay first, last deposit. Why not put a little bit of that effort into finding out if you can own a home and have a fixed payment for 30 years?
Yeah.
That does not go up, down, and all around. Thank you so much for tuning on in.
Thank you so much, as always, Mo.
And of course, this is just our real estate opinion, our humble real estate opinions. Obviously, we live here. I've been here over 30 years. I believe Becky.
Born and raised.
There you go. So, this is our valley. We know it, but we also can help you in 50 states. Like I said, I'm about to close a house with my sister in Seattle. We've helped in Texas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. We even helped a lady sell her house in Costa Rica. So 24 countries, more than likely going to be hopefully helping my clients out with purchasing over in France. And I plan on trying to buy in Albania if God says the same this year. Pretty excited.
I'm excited for you.
I love it. I love it over there. Have a blessed weekend.